One last issue. You've analyzed all this, you've been involved in budgets before. Given the current situation, given that we were already slowing down prior to the pandemic, then came the pandemic, what would you like to see in this budget?
That's a great question to end on, I think, Roy. Let me say two or three things which I think are really one. First and foremost, we are still not out of the pandemic. People are still hurting. People are still suffering. So the social safety net that we put in place for the pandemic, Manrega, PDS, cash transfers, they should still be available for all those who need it. So we shouldn't, take that social safety net, which is still cushioning people's lives and livelihoods. I think that's important point number one. Second, I would like to see, no surprises in the budget. For example, more tariff increases and so on. All those, surprises. I hope the government will avoid. Third, I think that given the state of the financial system, I hope the budget will and policies in general, more broadly, will have something to really address the problems of the financial system, whether it's a bad bank or the IBC being revived in some ways. I think we should do that. I would see a little bit of reversal of policies that took so many people out of the tax-paying net. I think that has to come back. But above all, and this is what I would like to end on, if the diagnosis that we have is the problem is the software, I would like to see evidence beginning in the budget that software is being kind of addressed and remedied. First, I want the budget to be totally transparent, and the government, started on this course last year. Transparency. We know everything, where the expenditures are, no off-balance sheet expenditure, what is the true deficit. One. Two, I think the numbers should be credible. We can't have, very over-optimistic projections like we've had in the last 3 or 4 years. So just a kind of credible budget with credible numbers and also with some serious credible plans of how we will bring the fiscal situation under control. And finally, a signal that, the government, whether it's agriculture or the GST, will go back to a kind of cooperative approach to policy making more generally. So in some ways, I would say, if the diagnosis is software, not hardware, that evidence that software is being addressed, not just in the budget, but on an ongoing basis beyond, that's what I would be looking for in terms of the future. And if we can do that, we can restore dynamism back to where it used to be.